Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So before getting started with the video, I did want to introduce this new manifest a specific person, love or relationship group manifestation session that I will be hosting. If you want to find out more about when that will be, check out the description box below where you will see my website, and on the website it will lead you to the group manifestation session details. Okay, so if this is something of your interest, I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to tell you in just a second why I think this will be super beneficial for a lot of you that watch my channel. Okay, but before getting started with that, I did want to show you, or tell you the schedule or outline of this manifestation session. So it will be an hour long, okay, and the schedule is as such. So the first 3 minutes will be dedicated to meditation. We're going to be doing a 3-minute meditation to clear your mind and just get relaxed. You don't need to meditate in order to manifest, but it definitely does help, and you can't go wrong with meditation, right? So yeah, the next section will be EFT tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique tapping. So for this, we will be doing 4 to 5 rounds of tapping where we will collectively be saying revision affirmations and just like affirmations in general. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. You basically just have to copy what I do, and again, we'll be doing 4 to 5 rounds of tapping, which I think will really help clear any sort of energetic blocks or whatever you want to call it. Basically help you get rid of limiting beliefs when it comes to manifesting love, when it comes to manifesting a specific person based on the things that you may have experienced in your past relationships. Okay, so yeah, after that, we're going to be doing a journaling exercise and more affirming. This is also really going to help clear away any sort of limiting beliefs. After that, I'm going to be spitting some neuroscience facts and also talking a little bit about the book You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. There's a lot of really helpful facts in that book, so if you're interested, do check that out. It's called You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. Honestly, if you read that book, you will be golden. You will be solid when it comes to manifesting. You definitely don't have to do any of this, but I do think it will be really helpful for a lot of you. After that, we're going to dedicate some time to doing some scripting. I'm going to have some affirmations on the screen that you can use to script in order to manifest your specific person, a new love, a relationship with your specific person, or a completely new relationship, okay? Either way, you're going to see movement, you're going to see some sort of shift, and you will manifest abundance in your love life, okay? But we're not done yet. After that, I'm also going to be doing an oracle reading for the collective, okay? So I'm going to be picking my affirmation cards. And this is going to be really beneficial because, I'm just going to be reading some affirmations that will be targeted for the collective. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like an energy reading, but it's not tarot. Okay, this is an oracle reading that literally just has affirmations. Okay, it's like an encyclopedia or like Wikipedia for affirmations. So yeah, not necessarily tarot, it's an oracle reading, and can't go wrong with more affirmations, right? So yeah, after that, we are going to be collectively affirming using the Counter app. If you haven't heard of it, literally just go to the App Store and look up Counter, Counter, download that app. I'm gonna have mine up on the screen. You don't necessarily need to download it for the session, but you can do it on your own terms. If you are into affirming, definitely have some sort of counter app with you that counts the affirmations that you are doing. But we are going to be collectively affirming one affirmation that has to do with you getting together with your specific person, which you'll find out if you join the session. Okay, so I highly recommend you check this out. And after that, if there is time, I will leave any space for questions, comments, anything that anyone wants to bring up regarding manifestation. Okay, also quickly going back to the collective affirming, we're gonna try to affirm at least 300 times because it takes around 300 times for I guess like a habit to be created. I have neuroscience facts that explains exactly how many times you should be affirming. Okay, you don't necessarily need to affirm that many times to get your manifestation, but yeah, this is just the general gist, schedule, outline, structure of the manifestation session. So if any of this interests you, like I said, check out the description box below where you will find my website, and on my website you will see a slot to sign up for this group manifestation coaching session. I really do feel like a lot of you will greatly benefit from it. Okay, I'm intending that you will see movement when it comes to your manifestations. Okay, in fact, we're even going to be doing a group intention where we're going to be affirming that every single person on this call is going to be getting their manifestations to full fruition. Okay, so I feel like that will be really helpful. Okay, whenever you like manifest in a group or manifest for other people, I mean, it has to manifest. Even if you don't, manifestation is perfect, it will happen. But I think, doing that in a group will definitely help expedite the manifestation. It will definitely help bring about some sort of movement. And yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about why this is going to be so beneficial for you. I wrote down like a whole script that I want to read off of just so I can like cover all the points. But yeah, this is great because you will have that community support and be surrounded with like-minded people that get it, that really get manifestation. Sometimes we're around people that just don't get manifestation, or they don't want to get it, or they project their limiting beliefs onto us. If you watch my videos, if you're into manifestation, if you're into law of assumption, this is the community for you. Okay, like this is greatly going to help you. And again, like being around people that get it is so beneficial because like you won't have to deal with like trying to convince them like, oh, this is what works, this is like all that like jazz. So yeah, we're also going to be focusing a lot on self-concept, so don't feel like you're doing this just for someone else or just for love. Sorry, the light is glitching a little bit, ring light problems. Yeah, but basically, yeah, we will be focusing on self-concept affirmations. I am going to be giving you a lot of self-concept affirmations. I think I counted, I have like at least 20 to 30 affirmations on here that I have talked about on my channel. Some are new ones, some of them you may already be familiar with, but basically this is really good for accountability. Okay, we all want our manifestations, we all want our goals, but sometimes we just don't have the time to sit and do it ourselves, or we like lack motivation. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, or we just get lazy, like whatever the case may be. Having a session, meeting up at a certain time, being surrounded with like-minded people, even if it is online, will really, really help when it comes to that accountability factor and you really getting your manifestations to full fruition. Okay, in fact, that's going to be one of our affirmations, like getting permanent results, being able to keep your manifestation. I'm going to explain all of this. I'm going to explain the neuroscience. I have like some Neville Goddard quotes in here, some neuroscience facts that are really going to make things click for you. Okay, so yeah, something else I wanted to say is when you manifest anything or anyone, it really is a journey back to self. It is about helping you realize your worth and values, so it will definitely help in that sense as well. This will just basically help you like raise your standards and manifest better versions of people. Again, you can have whoever you want, okay, but you deserve to have the best version of that person. I will never on my channel say it's wrong to manifest people, it's bad to manifest people, because it's not, it never is. Because when you think about it, there's infinite versions of people that exist. There's infinite timelines happening right now. Okay, so if you manifested a version of your person that doesn't want you, or they said something really triggering to you, there definitely is a version of them out there that does love you, that is in love with you, that does want you, that will treat you like the queen or king or god or goddess you are. Okay, so yeah, that's something else that I wanted to point out. I know you're going to see movement. I know it's going to help you, even if you just feel that shift within, even if you feel a little bit more lighthearted and less anxious. Like, if you can feel that after this session, I will have done my job. Okay, something else that I wanted to point out is that I will also be selling replays of these sessions. Okay, so if you are interested in that, do check that out. That will be on my website as well. So yeah, if you can't attend it, this would be a great option for you to engage in. And yeah, something else I want to say is that please don't record these sessions yourself, because like I said, I'm going to be selling replays, and we should all respect everyone's time, energy, effort, money. So yeah, that's just a disclaimer. I'm sure none of you will do that. Like the people who watch my videos, like I love you all. Like most of you are just like such amazing, like wonderful people. And yeah, I truly, genuinely appreciate your support, and I really wanted to do something to give back. Okay, so check out the description box below, check out my website. You'll see exactly how much this is, what time it's going to be happening, and for how long it's going to be going on. You don't have to attend every session. I'm going to be doing this like consecutively for right now it's like 9 days, okay, but I will definitely bring this back in the future if people want this. Okay, so yeah, that is something else I wanted to point out. And yeah, I will go ahead and end this little intro right here. Okay, I highly recommend you join. It's gonna help so much. I promise you. You'll feel lighthearted, less anxious. You'll definitely see movement, or you'll definitely see a shift within yourself. And even if you don't feel all of that, at least you'll walk away with knowledge. You'll walk away with exercises you can do to strengthen your neural pathways. You'll walk away with affirmations. You'll just walk away with knowledge that you can spread to others and help create that ripple effect of positivity, which is really my goal on this channel. Okay, I genuinely want to help my clients and people who view my channel. Okay, so if you have manifested my channel, congratulations, your manifestations are working. So anyways, I will for real end the intro right here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So in today's video, I have a very exciting success story of how one of my clients manifested her SP back after a couple of months of no contact, and they've started going on dates again. And he actually even said like, oh, are we dating? Like he's the one that like told her to or asked her to define the relationship, and she thought that it was completely hopeless, that he was completely out of sight, out of mind. And yeah, I mean she had pretty much given up hope, but she still booked the coaching call anyways. So yeah, and she ended up getting her SP back, which is super exciting. Also, as you can tell, I am wearing a Yankees hat. I'm in New York right now. Go Yankees. And it was really interesting because I was at the game and the Yankees ended up winning, and right as I knew they were about to win, I get this email from her. Okay, so there's just something magical in the air. Okay, never stop believing in magic, aka manifestation. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and share the story. I do have this email here of her detailing all the events and kind of just piecing together everything that happened. So and then I also wrote my own notes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what went down. Okay, it's a really good one. So yeah, what ended up happening is that they ended up going on a couple of dates. She matched with him on some dating app, and they went on a couple of dates, and she started feeling this attraction for him. Okay, she was really into him, and I think they'd gone on 4 to 5 dates, and then he started getting a little bit distant. And she told me about how this is something that has happened to her in the past, and the thing that happened is that the minute she would start feeling things for the people that she went on dates with, feeling things for guys, they would just become distant. And I feel that's something that a lot of us have gone through, okay? But I stopped her right there, and I said listen, that is a limiting belief that you have to get out of your system, okay? I think for some of us that may have happened to us once, and we ended up internalizing it, so we kept experiencing that again and again, because what you think about, what you internalize is sometimes what you two things. First of all, if something happened in your early dating life or early childhood or whatever, and it really impacted you, you end up internalizing that, and that's something that sticks with you when it comes to future relationships. Okay, so that's something that I noticed had happened with her. So I told her listen, I'm gonna stop you right then and there. You have to work on reprogramming that belief that that happens every time she ends up getting attached or liking someone, they become distant. Okay, because that's not always the case. I guarantee you that was the case, no one would be married right now, no one would be dating for years right now. Okay, that's not something that you have to take with you. That's not something that always has to happen. In fact, I'm sure that that we've had at least one relationship or one dating situation where we did like them and they liked us back, and it still continued, and we broke up for another reason. Okay, I know I have, and she even told me oh yeah, that is something that she has experienced. And I told her to use that experience as an anchor. Okay, use that good experience, that one good dating experience that she had, and realize that that's not a belief that she needs to have in her like belief system. So I told her to reprogram that by saying things like, I always get who I want when I want them, okay? Whatever I want wants me as well. Whoever I want wants me as well, okay? I am worthy of the love that I want, because sometimes it has been the case that you know, we like someone and maybe like they're a little bit distant or become distant, but then it's like someone that we don't like is like super into us. And I never think that we have to settle for the person that's into us, okay? I actually really like don't like how sometimes like people tell other people like, oh, well, this person likes you, why don't you give them a chance? Well, I mean, if you want to, that's fine, but I genuinely do think that, you know, we should end up with whoever we want to end up with, and not just settle because they like us and we don't like them, and just because they're the safe option, okay? So that's something that I told her, and that's something I told her that, you know, she doesn't have to carry with her for the rest of her life. And it ended up working, okay? She's just like, you know what, like, yeah, I need to spend some time kind of like recreating that belief, okay, reframing that thought pattern. And yeah, I told her, she used the exact affirmations that I gave her, like, whoever I want wants me. And I even told her to say, like, whoever I've wanted has always wanted me, okay? Revision definitely helps. So that will revise any sort of instances in the past where you know, you felt rejected by someone that you wanted. Revision is so powerful, okay? And it's like, even if like that person in the past doesn't come back, because I know a lot of us don't really want to manifest like past people that may have hurt us, right? It will sort of lessen the impact of those negative feelings of rejection, okay? Because that's what we really internalize sometimes, and that's what ends up like dictating our current reality or future reality. It doesn't have to, okay? That's just something that I've noticed happen. So in order to lessen the impact or the negative feelings associated with that rejection of, like, you know, the person that we like not liking us back, you have to say things like, okay, you know what, that's not been true. Everyone that I've liked has liked me back. And you'll realize that has been the case. Like, a lot of us can tend to go into like victim mode and be like, oh, they never even like me, they never even love me, blah blah blah. And it's like, you know, just stop saying that, stop affirming that. Even if they told you, like, you know, stop thinking about that, and just be like, even if you don't want to revise, just say things like, I am lovable, I am always fully loved, okay? I am worthy and deserving of love from whoever I, you know, want that from, okay? So yeah, or, you know, you can just keep it general, just do self-concept, self-love, like exactly what I said. I have always been loved, I am lovable, I am fully loved, okay? So that's definitely something that she took to heart, and it ended up working, so that's really great. Yeah. And then you know, she went on to tell me that there were a couple of third parties that had you know, been like prevalent in the situation, and like, you know, she realized like, okay, that's something that I manifested. But what she told me she was doing is that every time she was suspicious of a third party or knew of a third party, she would manifest them away successfully. But it's like she was doing that for each and every one. So it's like third parties kept popping up. There were at least like, you know, 2 to 3. And you know, I told her, like, instead of like micromanaging each and every third party, why not just create the belief that there aren't third parties? Third parties are not a thing. They've never been a thing. They're never gonna be a thing, okay? Because yeah, I mean, if third parties come up, it is very easy to manifest them away, but do you really want to spend the rest of your life manifesting each and every third party? No, right? So I told her to go to the end and be like, you know what, SP and I have unconditional love for each other. We are right for each other. There's no one else, okay? We love only each other. We only have eyes for each other. They only have eyes for me, okay? Or if you want to do just self-concept, which is something that I do recommend to a lot of my clients, is here are a couple of self-concept affirmations I told her to do. I am always valued, loved, and prioritized. I'm always fully loved, fully valued, fully prioritized. That's something that I have told my clients a lot, because when you're fully loved, when you're fully prioritized, I mean, third parties aren't even a thing, okay? They're not even gonna be in your realm of consciousness. They're not gonna be in your 3D reality. They don't exist. So yeah, I just told her to create the belief that she has always been loved. I know she told me that like she has been like cheated on in the past. I told her to just say like, okay, you know what, don't worry too much about the past, focus on the now, and say things like, people are always always loyal to me. Men are always loyal to me. I'm always around, you know, men that are trustworthy, men that are kind, men that value relationships. Okay, she also told me that she had a past with, like, you know, F-boys, and I told her to just, like, change her concept about men and society. Yeah, if you're someone that's into women or whatever gender, like, you know, you can just use that as well. Like, women are always loyal, insert gender, always loyal, right? It's easy for me to be in a happy, healthy relationship. It's safe for me to be in the relationship of my dreams. It's safe for me to be fully loved by, you know, someone that I love as well, okay? My love is always reciprocated. My love is always fully reciprocated. It's easy for me to be in a healthy, monogamous relationship, okay? So I told her to just go straight to the end and, yeah, just like I said, create the belief that third parties don't even exist, they're not a thing. And she only did that like a couple of times, and like things instantly changed. Like she didn't notice any third party after that. Like she didn't like even like at times she was suspicious, but those suspicions didn't even come true. So it's okay to have doubts, it's okay to even like you know, like have limiting beliefs at times, but just create the belief that your doubts or limiting beliefs don't manifest. That's also something I told her to do, okay? So that's something that I say a lot, like, yes, you know, you should be affirming for the specific thing, you should be doing self-concept, but also create the belief that, you know, it's easy for you to manifest, that things impress upon your subconscious mind easily, okay? Do affirmations that communicate to your subconscious mind that you always get what you want, okay? So that's also a very, very important thing to be doing, okay? I would even say that like after every manifestation or affirmation session, you should say things like, I always manifest things fast, I always manifest things easily, okay? It's easy for me to be like, it's easy for me to have control over my reality, okay? Things like that. So you can create that belief and you don't have to keep manifesting and affirming all the time, okay? In fact, I had a client that, actually a couple of clients that came to me and said like, hey, I don't want to put that much work into manifesting. I don't want to like keep scripting again and again, or manifesting like, you know, 20 minutes a day, or affirming 20 minutes a day. I just want to be able to think of something and have it manifest in the 3D reality. And I'm just like, you know what, like, why don't you affirm that? Okay, personally for me, I'm really good at scripting. That's what has gotten me all my manifestations, okay? So I now script that it's easy for me to affirm, that I only have to affirm things a couple of times for me to get it, or I only have to affirm things once to get it, okay? So, and that has been working wonders. That has been working like magic, because there are certain things that I don't want to spend too long affirming, because, you know, I have a time crunch when it comes to certain things. And, you know, speaking of that, she was also telling me that like she wanted to manifest this person by her birthday, because she wanted to spend her birthday with him. So yeah, and it ended up happening like around her birthday, which was so amazing. In fact, like he even wished her happy birthday. Like that was like one of the best things. Like and she thought that like he was never gonna contact her again, because like they did go on a couple of dates, and like she thought that he felt the vibes, or she thought that like he was into her, and that, you know, they both felt the spark, they both felt that connection. And he actually ended up reiterating to her like, yeah, I did feel that spark, I did feel that connection. And he ended up like, you know, saying like, oh sorry, you know, I was just busy with work, or she ended up giving some excuse. But that is something that she manifested, okay? Because she was also a little bit hurt that like, you know, she felt a little bit rejected. She felt like, you know, she had been ghosted, and like she was even like wondering like, hey, what can I say to like make him come back? I say you don't have to like worry about like how they come back or even what they say, but I told her like, I mean, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. And he ended up coming back and like just being really nice about things, like, hey, like, you know, I just had a lot on my plate, there were just a lot of things going on, you know, blah blah blah. And she's like, okay, yeah, I understand. So yeah, that's something that like ended up happening for her, and she was just so amazed that like, you know, this worked wonders. But yeah, I say this to a lot of my clients: focus more on self-concept, especially around self-concept regarding the thing that you're trying to manifest. Okay, so if you're trying to manifest love, focus on self-concept around love. Focus on self-concept around yourself in, you know, relationships, like what you want your relationship to be like. Anything that you want from anyone else, you have to give to yourself. Okay, so in this case, like I told her to say things like, I'm always prioritized, I'm always valued, I'm always fully loved, which is something that I have told a lot of my clients, and it has worked wonders. A lot of my clients have come back with success stories. And yeah, so basically they ended up dating again. And in fact, he was the one that said like, oh, what are we, like, you know, are we dating? And like she was surprised, because that wasn't even something she affirmed for. But she ended up like, you know, just doing a lot of self-love, self-concept affirmations that like he just ended up like showing up as a completely different version of himself. Okay, she literally manifested the best version of him and then some. And yeah, I just highly recommend doing more self-concept affirmations, because at the end of the day, your subconscious mind knows what you want, and it's like, even if you were to do all self-concept affirmations, you will get that exact person that you want. Okay, and it really does work like magic. But again, that is just a belief that I have. Okay, because that's just what's helped me personally. But if you do feel like affirming for a specific person has helped and will help, you know, then clearly that's a belief that you've internalized, and you can keep doing that. Okay, but she also did tell me, and actually a lot of clients have told me that, like, you know, she was kind of tired of affirming just for him, because it's like she did see movement, but it wasn't like, you know, like long lasting movement. And she's just like, you know, I manifest things, but like they just don't stay, or I don't manifest things fully, which a couple of clients have, like, you know, also told me about. And I told them, like, listen, if you want permanent results, you know, just manifest exactly that I always get permanent results, that I always get my full manifestations, that it's easy for me to keep my manifestations. Okay, so that's also another thing I told her. And like, they have been dating for quite a while, and like he talks to her like every single day. Okay, and yeah, like in the between, in the middle, okay, so like he would watch her stories, but then he stopped watching her stories, and that's like when she started booking the call. She's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so anxious, like, you know, this has never happened. And I told her, like, you know, listen, just focus on yourself. Okay, don't put them on the pedestal. He should be wondering, like, okay, what can I do to manifest this this girl? Okay, because I told her, like, you know, you're a lovely person, you have such good energy, but like right now you're really putting them on the pedestal. And it's okay to want whoever you want, but don't feel like, you know, your entire life depends on them watching your stories or something. I know it's easy to get caught in that trap. And I told her, like, listen, he will watch your stories, he will reiterate everything that you want him to do, which, spoiler alert, he ended up doing, as long as you focus on yourself. And like, you know, the specific tips that I gave her for her situation with the whole third party thing, and getting rid of the belief that like people always leave when she ends up getting attached. Okay, because again, like, no one would be, there's a lot of people, okay, no, let me backtrack there. If that was like a universal thing, that like, oh, when I start getting attached, they just leave again, no one would be married, no one would be in relationships. And like, let me tell you that I see a lot of healthy couples around me. Okay, a lot of people are like tying the knots. Like, that's not something that you ever need to experience. And it's just, it just takes a couple of affirmations, and it just, you know, couple of minutes reprogramming that belief. And when I say minutes, I mean it's going to be relative to other people. I mean, people can like change their beliefs instantly. I feel like she did that. She changed her beliefs instantly, because she's just like, wait, I have been in relationships with guys who did reciprocate my feelings, and it was mutual, and, you know, things were well. Okay, I don't, like, as far as I know, I don't think like anyone's been in like just bad relationships. Okay, so one good technique is to use the good experiences that you know, you've experienced as an anchor for your manifestations. Okay, that really does help. So it really helps to think of all the good things that people have said to you. Okay, like, do hold on to that. I think that's a good thing. And yeah, the other thing that I wanted to point out, this was actually a big thing, is that like she told me that like she would talk to her friends about this, and her friends were like negative Nellies and be like, no, just move on, find someone else. If he wanted to, he would. Which I hate that phrase so much. I mean, technically it is true, but like, I mean, you know, just I just think it's so condescending. And I feel like people who like say that a lot and like, you know, show off their relationships, it's like, it's just, to me, it's like bragging, and like not in a good way. And it never sat right with me. Okay, like sometimes, you know, I mean, it is technically true. If they wanted to, they would, but it's like, I feel like that just has such a negative connotation. Okay, like, if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. But I mean, that is something that her friend said to her, and it just made her feel down. And I told her, like, listen, I think maybe you should just not talk to your friends about this, because not everyone understands manifestation. Not everyone understands that, like, hey, we can get whoever we want. And like, her friends had good intentions. Okay, so, you know, that was a good thing. But I told her, like, listen, you can just manifest that your friends are supportive, or just don't talk to them until, like, you know, you end up manifesting that. You know, just keep things a little bit private, lay low for a bit, because they were just like being a little bit negative, even though, like, you know, they definitely, you know, genuinely did care for her, and they had her best interests at heart. But it's like, you know, they were just giving all their reasons why, like, you know, she shouldn't talk to him because he ghosted her. And actually, it wasn't even ghosting. When she told me the whole story, I'm just like, did he really ghost you? Because, like, actually, she was the last one who had the say in the relationship. And like, she didn't message him, but like, she was kind of expecting him to message her because, like, I mean, she just wanted to be pursued. And I even told her to say things like, I've always been pursued, you know, I'm receptive to love, I'm in my receptive energy to receiving love. I want them to make effort, which again, it's totally fine to want other people to make an effort, but like, you know, just tell yourself that and don't get so down when, you know, you're not seeing certain things. So it's like, you know, certain things that are happening, like the whole thing with like, oh, if they wanted to, they would. I mean, he did end up doing that. Like, actually, he did really want to, but like, you know, he told her certain things like, okay, you know, I was just busy with work, there was a lot going on my plate, and like, you know, just the thing about like emotional unavailability, like she told me that she had watched one of my readings, and like basically everything I said like was true about like what he was feeling. He was a little bit emotionally unavailable, but then he ended up becoming available because I told her to say things like, you know, I always attract emotionally available partners. Okay, it's easy for me to give and receive love, it's easy for my love to be reciprocated and mutual. Okay, so definitely those affirmations will help, and you'll see me repeating these affirmations throughout my videos, but like sometimes we need a reminder. Okay, and like again, I gave her affirmations that were specific to her situation, and like the things that he said, like she even told me the things that he said did end up sounding genuine. They didn't sound fake. Like yes, there were a couple of third parties, but it's like actually the third party, she even told me it was like more like he was just like following her, but like nothing ever even happened, because she told me that like she would like stalk their pictures, and she saw that he didn't even like any of their posts, but he would always like her posts. So, you know, I told her like, listen, you don't have to worry about a third party, just affirm that they don't exist. Okay, affirm that third parties aren't even a concept on their own. In fact, like she even told me that like his following count started going down, and he wasn't liking the pictures of these girls, but he was liking her pictures, and he started watching all of her stories again. So yeah, it's crazy how that all ended up working out, but it did end up working out. Okay, and she was just like, oh my gosh, this is magic, like I'm so happy, like, you know, I booked this coaching call, like thank you so much, like you worked your magic. I was like, I didn't do anything, this was all you. But I did tell her to be consistent. I did tell her to you know, change her thoughts, and it's like, even if you don't believe it, at least create, you know, have some intention behind your manifestations, have some intention you know, behind your affirmations or scripting. Okay, even if you don't like believe it works, like just put in that effort. Okay, and I promise you, like repetition does create belief. Okay, repetition does 100% work. There's literally science behind why repetition works. I have talked about that in a couple of my videos about like, you know, neuropeptides, and like how things impress onto your subconscious mind. So you can check out my law of assumption playlist. I did talk about that, and I think like the first couple of videos that I made. I think I will make another video with all like the scientific facts that I know regarding manifestation, but repetition does work, and repetition does create belief. So yeah, and yeah, you know, like I said, he came back to her and asked her like, oh, are we dating? Like, what is this? And back, like she told me that he just mentioned like, oh, you know, like you're one of the best like people I've dated, or something along the lines of that, where he like implied that like, oh, they're dating, and like he said something like, you're one of the only like 3 or 4 girls that I've dated, or something. Yeah, she told me that. So that wasn't in the email, but I was like, wait, like that's a good thing, that's a good sign. So, you know, yeah, it just ended up working out, and I was so happy for her. Okay, so definitely do use these affirmations if you're trying to manifest a specific person or love. I will go ahead and end the video right here, but I do want to let you know that I have, yes, one-on-one manifestation coaching. I also have a guide out on Etsy that you can use to manifest soulmate love. In fact, she actually ended up buying my guide and like doing those affirmations, and then she just booked the con. She told me like, listen, these affirmations have been working, I have been seeing movement, but I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track. So yeah, that's when we ended up talking. And yeah, I also do offer tarot readings, and I also custom make subliminals that will help you manifest. So that will be on my website, which will be in the description box below, so do check that out. And yeah, I will go ahead and end the video right here. Let me know if you have any questions about manifestation, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much.